Aries, welcome back to Steampunk Psyche. If you are a returning subscriber, you have my love. If you're brand new to the channel or just cross-watching for your particular energy, I am JT. Like I always say, Aries, sometimes the day-to-day grind of the major arcana and the minor arcana, they line out. Sometimes they don't. Don't try to force it, just use your intuition, okay? We're just doing a general reading. Do also keep in mind that I always place your haiku poems right before your reading. That being said, we're going to shuffle up. Aries, I wish for you peace. I wish for you health. I wish for you stability. I wish in this spread that there is some kind of conclusion that you will draw. There is some kind of an opportunity to seize the moment. I wish for you that all of your manifestations are taking place, that your love life is coming together, or at least that the people around you are understanding you better. All right, I've already shuffled up, and we will talk about this current energy. We will talk about your crossing challenge. We will talk about your foundation, your recent past, possibilities, the near future, self, the environment, the hopes, fears, wishes, or worries, and the outcome and the direction. Also, Aries, I'm going to pull 4 clarifying cards for this reading. I've already pre-shuffled these. These are hard as hell to shuffle, but I have already shuffled. We're going to talk about that recent past clarifying card and the near future. We'll talk about the outcome and the direction as well. All right. While I'm taking a look at the spread, while I'm looking at this spread, Aries, here are your brand new poems from Haiku Corner, okay? We'll get right on this when I get back. Okay, Aries, we are starting off your reading with the Temperance card. And while I looked down at these cards, I do feel as though we're talking about a mirrored kind of a connection here. You both are feeling the same pull, the same tug, the same sleepless nights, restlessness, the whole nine. So this may resonate as a twin flame journey for some of you, or just a very intense soul mate type connection, somebody you just adore. Okay. Anyway, if you're ready, if you've got the spine, we'll do this. Okay. There's a little bit of teeth and bite in this. So like I always say, right? Take it with a grain of glitter. All right. I'll give you the down low and we'll talk about this. All right. This Temperance card tells me that this is going pretty deep into the emotional kind of tension, the mixed signals, the jealousy, the late night thoughts, that type of energy. Okay. But what I'm getting at is that you're aligning with someone, maybe at the same emotional pace. Okay. If it doesn't look like it on the surface, just hang in there and I can tell you why. Okay. Temperance here, it feels like there's 2 people trying to play it cool, you know, um, and I feel like there's definitely some heat in the undertone here, right? It's got that slow burn. I'm not going to text you first unless you do. I'm trying to stay balanced, but I think about you every damn second, right? Every night. This has got that kind of energy. I'm going to type that message and I'm going to delete it. Then I'm going to rewrite it again. I'm going to almost hit that button, but I'm going to delete it. So both of you are checking on each other's, you know, uh, social sites, right? And I'm talking like within minutes. You're trying your ass off, both of you, to appear unbothered. Okay, but I feel like you're just replaying those conversations over and over again. So the feminine energy in this, and I do use those terms intermittently. Okay, it doesn't mean gender specific here. So I'm just saying, the feminine energy is sensing the emotional pull, right, but kind of refusing to chase. And so that doesn't always mean female, ladies. So don't be hating on me. I'm just saying, I'm a masculine, but I like to stay in my feminine energy. So I understand about the runner chaser here, but this is mirroring each other, right? It's pacing without planning it. That this could be like the mutual friend, kind of like mentions your name, and they freeze up for just a second, right? It's healing from something. We are talking about alchemizing here, pouring from one cup to the other, but you know, this is they're trying to regulate their emotions before reaching out. I feel like you are overthinking shit in the silence. Okay, this is for some it could very well look like a balanced financial opportunity or something like that, a collaboration or a client or a shared project. We're going to talk about that as well, but we're talking about I'm thinking as far as synchronicities are concerned. Look it up on the internet, but I do believe we're coming into the new moon phase, the new shift. This could be significant for somebody here. Okay, what this is referring to. So, all right, here's the kicker. Another little take it with a grain of glitter. We're going to talk about this challenge card here, and we got a clarifier to go with it. So, we got this Nine of Swords. That's what this is all about. That this is that overthinking. It's creating fear, basically, where there's clarity. Clarity exists. All right. For some of you, you could be seeing synchronicities around like the wolf. Um, this creature is all about clarity, all about planning, strategizing, that type of thing. So that's why that restless night. Some of you could actually have like a wolf tattoo or something like that. But this is saying to me, what if I'm wrong? What if they don't feel the same? What if I mess up? You know what I mean? It's got that late night anxiety, as I'm looking through the messages or the ones that aren't showing up. I'm terrified of being vulnerable here. I'm afraid of saying the wrong thing. The energy for the feminine would look something like, I'm afraid of repeating old patterns, for the masculine both. Okay. But I'm saying, I'm not interacting because, I don't want to look desperate here, and I feel like maybe you sense that fear, even when they're acting confident, right? So for some of you, there could be, a third party or something like that, whether that's real or just imagined here that may be triggering some insecurity here. So I don't know. They worry you're too good or you're too independent for them. Maybe you're worried that they're losing interest, but they're not. So that's why. And the reason I know is this clarifier with the Knight of Swords here. Uh, it's definitely they want to rush in. Okay, they want to rush in, but the fear is stopping them. And this is you too. This energy is you as well. So don't you can't turn your head on this one. I feel like this is that because the night rushes in. You might get that late night text, right? That moment of honesty here. Um, I don't know if you continue on the push pull, you may not receive that. So we're going to talk about how this is about to change. All right, we got this foundation with the World card, right? For some of you here, this may apply, some may not. But this is like, a cycle that's completing, so a new one can begin. Okay, but for some of you may not be experiencing this yet. You may feel like you're either right on the verge or you are absolutely at wit's end, like that frustration, that everything, and that is bringing up those feelings, those insecure feelings. Like it could talk about a karmic cycle or relationship that recently ended, like what I mean. But I feel like you're both more emotionally mature than you were a while back, so you have to really ask yourself that question. That's why I say for some of you it may not apply. So ask yourself the question, am I ready for something real, or am I just scared, maybe of the responsibility? Am I really done with all the half effort connections? So in asking those questions, you're going to see just how far you've come in the emotional security wise, right? But this is to me, uh, I'm imagining long term with you. I may not have said it yet, but I'm imagining, the long term connection. So a major life chapter is ending here. For some of you, it could look like that job, or perhaps you're moving, or the relationship shift, something like that. But this has got travel or relocation type energy in it. So take what fits. But for others, it could look like a definite opportunity. Some of you could travel to do your work. So there may be like a global type opportunity here. Online business expansion, or some kind of like international clients, something like that. Anyway, we're talking about this is a dramatic situation. It's dramatic change. The cycle ending, one's beginning here. We're going to talk about the recent past. Yep, we got the Four of Swords here, and we got a clarifier as well. But this is for some of you, like I said, it's about the moon. Take a gander online. Look when that next moon phase is. Or for some of you, you could, I resonate with the energy of the moon. Whenever usually it's in the waxing, the waning gibbous or something like that. I sometimes have to pull back. I literally just have to sleep. I have to rest. And that's what this is talking about, emotional rest. And perhaps it also maybe, maybe this is talking about that person, right? They went quiet because of overwhelmment, right? Not because they lost interest in you, not because you lost interest, but it's got both retreating process, the feelings, or the feminine energy would look more like choosing the peace over chasing too. But I'm saying you both needed space to breathe. There's something has been replaying, maybe your last conversations or something like that in both of your heads. I feel like you're both in that position where I'm just taking a temporary pause, maybe in the communication, maybe in the physical side of this, but it's kind of like focusing on healing or self-care. So it's very mature, right? Yep, I stalk your social media quietly during the silence. I still do it, right? But here's the thing, with the clarifying card as your Queen of Pentacles here, right? This is all about self-worth. So it tells me that you're both doing the same thing. This is regaining that grounded type energy here, right? And I do feel like this is one of those deals where it's like between a Mercury or Venus type transit, right? This is like once in a lifetime deal that both of you are feeling this connection. Okay, that's what that kind of represents there. But I'm just saying. So we're going to talk about the possibilities. Okay, in the possibilities we have the Four of Pentacles. All right, someone's holding back, and I think it's both of you. Okay, but you're not letting go. It's I'm being protective of my heart, but I am so deeply attached to you. The masculine energy is I want you. I want you badly, but I am scared to lose control here. If I lose control, I'm going to look like an idiot. And the feminines, I'm not settling for the crumbs, right? But you're both saving each other's photos. You're both watching those old videos or stories or something online. Like you sent somebody a video, check this out, ha ha ha. Maybe you're replaying that over your responses, things like that. But this is about jealousy spiking. When I see you with somebody else, that's it makes me want to, I don't know, stop budgeting my money. It makes me want to go out and spend and buy brand new clothes just to get your attention. I'm going to level up, financially till you notice me. Something. It's got that energy, but to me, it just speaks of the mirroring factor here. That afraid to open up because you don't want to look weak. You don't want to look. I don't know. You don't want to throw word salad around. And so maybe you're both are just kind of holding on to hope here, okay? Even if the actions are really distant in this card, okay? We're gonna talk about the near future though. We got this Devil card. Hey, it ain't what you think. It ain't what you think. It's not about fear here, So I'm gonna say this kind of like with care. This is sexual tension. It's undeniable. All right. I dream about you and vividly, and it's on both. Come on, it is on both sides. It's protective. It's craving, closeness, possessiveness, and not a negative narcissistic way. That's not what I mean. It's like, I can't help but check your page. I want to be near you. I want to touch you. I want to watch your lips when they move. I want to see your eyes, your body reactions, right? It could be talking about a third party, trying to interfere also, but failing miserably, or that money risk opportunity, that could pay off really big here. And it's got you nervous about it. But, for the clarifying card is what I'm saying here. With that, we're talking about, you got the death card, right? The freaking death card. I couldn't plan this if I tried. This is the toxic patterns that are ending. It's done. The transformation here is all about the beginning, breaking the chains, breaking the cycle of this, of that patterns, everything that's taking place. And not to mention stepping into that brand new world, right? We saw that. So this is emotional conversation. Okay. This is where the transformation begins right here. All right, we're going to talk about the self. Now, the self is the moon. For some of you, we got Scorpio energy, we got Pisces energy. For some of you, we got some Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Just take what fits. But the moon represents Pisces, so I just thought I'd go ahead and throw it out there. Look, I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off this baby. You're sensing way more than what you're seeing. Your intuition is speaking very loudly here. And we just talked about that devil energy, that dreaming, right? I feel your emotions when I'm sleeping. I feel everything you want to say before you express it. You're both mirroring this, okay? But you're hiding your vulnerability. You're feeling everything intensely, and you get intuitive hits about their next move. Yep, dreaming the hell out of them, but I don't know. You're afraid of repeating old patterns, right? So both of you are doing the same thing. You're picking up on the jealousy or the desire, either one here. And perhaps this is causing some other little frustrations in your life. The uncertainty about maybe some financial decisions. Trusting your gut. Do I just trust my intuition? What's taking place here? You are way more psychic than what you are, than what maybe you even realize, than what you're letting on. Maybe it's a little unusual for you to feel this way, but I feel like some of you are hitting some serious deja vu moments here. Okay, just take what fits here. But we're going to talk about this environment. Okay, we got the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is, I want to show you off. I'm gonna take that selfie, and I am going to impress all of my friends. I want to win you. You're glowing. This is the magnetic confidence of the feminine energy here. The masculine energy is definitely proud, impressed, right? You're leveling up, and whether that's publicly or not, like I said, we did talk about that world. Possibly some of you could be, international affairs, some type of situation, side hustles, jobs, your own business, whatever that means. But but this could also, in the basic sense, just be somebody who sees you blow up, right? I'm stalking the hell out of your content more than I'm going to tell you, but this is people talking about you in a good way. Perhaps where you work, just a total stranger coming up and seeing the glow. I want to be around you. I'm about to tell you my life story because I see your glow. You feel safe to me. I see victory written all over you. Your body language is screaming body karate and intelligence here. All right. I'm just saying it's one of them deals, but hopes, fears, wishes, and worries. We have the overindulgence card, the Nine of Cups, if there's such a thing as overindulgence of happiness. But this is all about emotional fulfillment here. Okay. Um, but fear, it's too good to be true, right? You want this person, but you wait. You want, it has to be healthy. They're your wish, you're their wish, but without the disappointment. This is the masculine energy hoping you choose them. The feminine energy hoping they step up. Same scenario here. Okay, you want the same damn thing. But I feel like the major hiccup here is who the hell's going to step up first, right? Who's going to say it first? Yes, it's a financial yes. It's a losing yourself in love again. Yes. A song that reminds you of them plays at some odd ass moment. It's got synchronicities around like the numbers 3, 6, 9. I'm just saying there is definitely an outcome that you're going to be proud of here. Okay, we're going to talk about this outcome and the direction. The Page of Wands, it's more fire. Like I said, you could be dealing with Aries, Leo, Sagittarius here. Yourself saying, text me something flirty, be impulsive. You know, I can't hold this in anymore. It's the feminine energy. I'm receptive to you. I'm open. I'm in the playful mood as well. And it could be that playful message that breaks all this tension here. Okay. I'm about to send you that photo. Send that damn thing. Send that funny meme, right? Or something that hints at your desire. This is all about spontaneous. Okay. It's new opportunity. It's new client. It's new idea. It's the creative spark. And here's the kick-ass thing. This clarifying card with the death and now the justice, it's just telling me that the chapter is beginning. Both of you want this. It's saying it over and over and over again. What I feel like here is Aries, it's showing a connection that's been kind of simmering like beneath the surface, right? Two people mirroring each other, your pace, your fears, your desires, that emotional growth, all that shit. But the temperance energy shows that you're aligning perfectly, right? And the justice comes in to declare it, with that Knight of Swords, right? Showing that someone is about to push through all of that fear. You've got you know, the devil, the death combination. It's the turning point. The chemistry is undeniable here. You know what I mean? It's undeniable. This is definitely a new chapter beginning. You know, when someone finally stops thinking or overthinking and reaches the fuck out. Aries, I love you so much. I hope you got something from it. I hope it was clarifying, you know, confirmation for others. I'm going to leave last week's video here. You might check that out. Maybe the energies line up. Anyway, I love you. I respect you, Aries. I hope all of this works out. I'm so jealous. This sounds really cool. Anyway, see you on the next reading. All right. Bye-bye.